Alright, welcome to our first math video this week. Hopefully everybody is working through the Chapter 5 Google Form quiz assignment. So far about 25% of you have submitted that, so keep working on it. This is Chapter 6. So the packages for Chapter 6 are on the main stream page. You have to scroll down quite a lot at this point to find them, but they're all there. So either download it or print it if you can. I'm going to be going through the first lesson today, and I'll do the second lesson tomorrow or Friday. Okay, just 2 lessons this week because you're doing the assignment. But usually I'll try to do 3 lessons a week. This lesson is pretty short, but this unit is completely new. Unlike Chapter 5, you've never seen this in grade 10. So this is the handout that you can see. We're going to do the first 2 pages, which is 6.2. Okay, we're going to go over first periodic functions. Now, periodic functions just means something that repeats. Something repeats over and over and over and over again. You can have different functions, like different waves. Maybe like you might want a square wave, which does this, and just repeats over and over again. Okay, there's lots of functions that repeat over and over again. The reason why we're looking at functions that repeat over and over again is because this entire chapter is on sinusoidal functions. Right? And sine functions just look like this, like a wave, right? That just repeats over and over and over and over again. So first, let's analyze the parts of this wave. So if we're looking at our handout here, there are some parts. Okay, so if we look at this, here's our wave, and here's our peak right there. And that's our highest part, also called the crest. Our trough is our lowest part of the wave right there. Okay, the period is the time between successive repetitions. Okay, for example, let's say we were to start looking or start our timer. So we had a stopwatch and we started our timer here. Well, when does this start to repeat itself? Goes up, comes down, up again, and then right there, it'll start to repeat itself. Okay, so from here to here, which is, a difference in x coordinates, but usually, especially a lot in physics, we look at that x-axis as our axis as time. And so the time from here to here is called a period. Okay. Okay, so let's move on now that we understand those terms. Here's a good example. If we look at the moon's cycle, right, and here's the day of the year, and we go from full moons to new moons, and if we were to plot that cycle, let me just go to the next page and zoom in. If you were to plot that cycle, it looks like this. Now, would you call this a periodic wave or a periodic function? Yeah, I certainly would, because it repeats at regular intervals. In fact, it looks kind of like a sine wave, but we're going to get into sine waves starting with tomorrow's lesson. We're going to kind of introduce sine waves. Okay, so let's try an example. Okay, and I'm using this instead of the whiteboard because it's got all the nice pictures on it. Okay, so let's look at this one. Just draw. Where's the drawing? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh, now I'm gone. Where am I? Okay, we're back. So you can see I'm trying a lot of new functions with this video. Ha! Joke functions. Okay, so in this example, we have the motion of a chopping machine. Now our y-axis is the height of the blade above a hose, so 0 to 2 centimeters. And our x-axis is time. Like I said, we use time a lot. And here it's at 2 centimeters, and then it quickly drops and comes back. And then again at 2 centimeters, drops and comes back, and just repeats and repeats and repeats. So this is a periodic function because it's repeating at regular intervals. So the question is, what is the period? Okay, remember the period is one full cycle from in that repetitive motion, right? If it's up here and then it drops and comes back, that's a cycle. And then drops back and wait, cycle. Drop back, wait, cycle. So how much time does it take for one cycle? So if we look at it, we can start right at the beginning, right, and see where it goes. It's going over here, and then it drops and comes back, and that repeats. So that is one full cycle, and it looks to be from 0 to 2. So your period is 2 seconds. The maximum height goes all the way up here to 2 centimeters, and the minimum height drops down at these very sharp V's down to 0. Okay, then it says, what is the meaning of the horizontal lines at 2 and 3? Well, that's just where you have your blade of your chopping machine at rest, holding at 2 centimeters above the hose. Okay, then it says, what's the meaning of the V? Well, the V is your actual blade coming down and chopping. All right, so that's it for that lesson. It's a short one, but I think a lot of you are still working on the Chapter 5 Google form quiz. So I'll post this video and the homework for it, and then we'll get into the sine functions in the next lesson later this week.